And now let's go to The Hague, to the International Criminal Court. Well, after 3 weeks of the ICC ruling against Israel for genocide, now Israeli hostages have filed a report against Hamas. We tell you more in this report.
On the sidelines of the war in Gaza, families of hostages have waged their own battle. Freed hostages and 100 family members of those still held captive gathered at The Hague. The group is pushing the International Criminal Court to bring them justice and to help bring their loved ones home.
Perpetrators should be held criminally accountable for the atrocity they committed. We trust that the ICC has the capacity to bring about justice for the hostages and their families. The visit of the prosecutor to Israel has reinforced our belief in the integrity and professionalism of the court. This action is not just about accountability. It's about applying pressure for the release of the hostages, for encouraging nations worldwide to take legal steps against those responsible for the heinous acts.
On October 7th last year, Hamas carried out one of the deadliest assaults on Israeli territory. The militant group killed over 1,200 people and kidnapped 250 as hostages. Ever since a hostage truce deal in November facilitated the return of 150 of those held captive, but hundreds more remain in Gaza, some of whom have been killed by Israeli airstrikes in the enclave. While thousands of Israelis have been pushing Benjamin Netanyahu's government to strike a deal, little to no action has been taken by the Israeli Prime Minister. The families now want the ICC to issue arrest warrants for Hamas leaders.
We, the families, are going there to file the claim, and we want to make sure that the world acts and that their freedom is hindered as much as ours is now hindered. And we want to make sure that they pay for the crimes that they have committed and are still committing, taking our families hostage.
The ICC is a separate entity from the ICJ, where South Africa had filed a case against Israel on charges of genocide in Gaza. The ICC is a treaty-based criminal court. Its primary role focuses on individual criminal responsibility for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. While Israel is not a member of the ICC and does not recognize its jurisdiction, Palestinian territories were admitted as its members in 2015. The case against Hamas comes weeks after the World Court issued an interim ruling in South Africa's case of genocide against Israel on January 26th. The International Court of Justice, or World Court, had ordered Israel to ensure that its forces prevent acts of genocide in Gaza, allow humanitarian aid into the region, and also punish those inciting genocide towards Palestinians. The 17-member bench also ordered Israeli authorities to submit a report on actions taken in 1 month. But more than 3 weeks in, nothing appears to have changed. On the contrary, the war in Gaza has gotten worse. Netanyahu's Operation Rafah has put the southern Gaza city under danger. Out of 2.3 million population in Gaza, 1.5 million Palestinians are currently holed up in Rafah. The city is the single largest refugee camp in the entire enclave. But IDF operations in the area has world leaders and even top ICC prosecutors worried.
I've made it clear that I have real concern over the reports coming out of Rafah, the possibility of further ground incursions by Israeli troops, the reported bombardments, and the reality that the laws of war must be respected. They can't be rendered hollow. They can't be interpreted so as to void them of meaning or to dilute or eviscerate any protective purpose that the Geneva Conventions and the law provides the most vulnerable children, women, people that are sick, or civilians.